Can you believe how expensive throw pillows are these days? I can, and I don't want to spend that kind of money. Hi, Bestie. This is Lisa. Welcome or welcome back. Let's make our own holiday pillows for so much less. You know, you could choose a dish towel to make a beautiful pillow. So I've got this dish towel. I'm pretty sure this one came from Dollar General. Anyway, I love those little pom-poms on the end. So I'm just going to kind of play with folding it so it's going to be, where I want those pom-poms to, or tassels to actually sit. So I'm kind of folding up the bottom and just positioning it because once I get it set, I will know where exactly I need to glue. And this is a no-sew pillow. Of course, you can sew it if you want. I'm going for quick, easy, cheap. So I'm just going to start hot gluing the pieces together. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to seal up both of the sides except for a small portion. And then all across the top, that piece that rests across the bottom where the tassels are. So I started with the two ends on the shorter piece that's folded over, as you can see. There is such thing as fabric hot glue as well, but I have found that you don't really need to use that. I just use my regular hot glue. So do whichever you feel comfortable with. You could also use Beacon fabric tack glue, which I do sometimes, but it doesn't dry quite as fast as hot glue, and I was going for a little bit of a faster result here. So now I'm going to finish the two sides, except for that one portion of the one side so that I can stuff it. And of course, I'll go right across that top piece right where I'm pointing. So now it is all glued except for that one opening. And what I'm going to do is I've got some old pillow stuffing. Whenever I have a pillow I don't need anymore, I'm not going to use it, I will take the stuffing out of it and save it. So I'm just going to start pulling it apart. And I like to push the stuffing into the corners first because that seems like the part that never gets enough stuffing. And I just kind of push it into the corners and then I do the parts in between. But that way I know that the corners are covered. What's nice about using a dish towel is this particular fabric is nice and thick, and so it doesn't show lumps very much, and I love the way that looks. Now I'm going to take that opening and I'm just going to push the stuffing in a little bit and just hot glue it. Now I didn't do the kind of a seam where you fold it in. You'll see that in another one I'm doing, but on this one I like the look of those seams just being glued together like this. Super, super easy and quick. And pillows are not cheap these days. So this one is on the smaller side, but I'm okay with that. I don't necessarily want huge pillows. All my dog does is knock them on the floor anyway. Anyone else have that problem with animals? So I figure if they're small, it's easier to deal with. And there I am just finishing sealing up the end. And you know what? That's it. That is how easy this one is. This might be my favorite today. Anyway, you'll have to let me know what you think. I just love how pretty and fresh. It's farmhouse, it's Christmas, and there I've got a pillow that cost me just a couple of dollars total. I mean, how nice is that? I can't be the only one who has some old pillows around. Maybe they came with a bed set and you don't use them anymore and this one's a little mushed up. But I've got this fabric from the Dollar Tree. You can just buy it very inexpensively. I think it was $4.99 for a good chunk of fabric. And I'm just going to put the corner, I'm going to open it up and put the pillow up in the corner, pull down that corner piece, wrap it around, and figure out how much I will need to tie this around and then cut another little corner kind of triangle piece on the bottom. So this is just me kind of dry fitting it and seeing how it's going to look. Still have all that fabric on the bottom. I'll tuck in the sides, and now I can see where I need to cut my little V or triangle on the bottom, and I can save that fabric for something else. There's still quite a bit left. Now I'm going to untie it because I've got the piece that I need. I'm going to take a little, my Easy Press mini iron. You can use a regular iron. It doesn't matter. And I'm going to get some of those wrinkles out. Now I'm going to put the pillow back in that corner, and I'm going to pull down one of those triangles and I'm going to hot glue it right to the pillow. I'll never use this pillow again. This is the only way it's going to get used, so I'm bringing it back to life, which is a really great way to repurpose an old pillow. I'm going to hot glue down the sides, and then I'm going to start hot gluing down the back side as well because I don't want it to wiggle around and get wrinkly when I'm working with it. So just going to add some hot glue and then kind of tightly pull it back over and smooth it out while it's still wet. I'm going to add some more and just keep doing that till I get that pillow nice and glued down. Now I did want to get those sides in so they would not be so bulky, so I just kind of hot glued some down to the ends there, as you can see, just to get rid of that excess fabric because it will be in my way otherwise. So now I've rolled it back over, and now I've got the other V. I'm going to fold that V under and just make a nice seam across the middle there and hot glue it. You won't see that because of the tying that we're going to do, but I need a place to attach it. So there you go. So now, like a present, I'm going to take the two sides of each end and fold them in. You see how I'm doing that? And I'll do the same thing to the other side. Once I've got them, I will bring them across to the middle and tie a knot. And it's going to be a double knot. Just kind of fluff it as I go. And I'm also trying to get those little tie ribbons, the ends there, just so you can see the pattern and, swing it around so the blank side of the fabric is facing down. Got a poinsettia that I have from Dollar Tree. I just nipped it off the pick. And I'm going to put a lot of hot glue. I'm going to hot glue it right to the middle where I tied that. Now it's kind of like a bow. And that's it. This was easy. You could do this with any piece of fabric, something that will fit around a pillow you have that you were going to otherwise throw away. There you go. Nice and easy. I love making removable pillow covers. So this little pillow I got at Walmart, and then I've got some fabric, some yarn, and a little piece of a tie from an old pair of pajama pants, and then this dust cloth from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to open up this fabric. It's a nice neutral color, and I'm just going to measure and see how much I need for this little pillow to cover it. So we're going to make a slip cover. I'm going to kind of fold one end over the other, and then I'm going to check the sides and trim them so that it isn't too wide for this teeny little pillow. It's a cute little pillow, but I want to save it for next year, but I'd also like to have a cover for Christmas time. So I'm going to make a little double hem. I'm going to use some clips and my iron, and I'm going to iron down the first level of that hem, and then I'll iron down the second. Now, once I get the second level of the hem, I will start hot gluing that down, because that way I've got a nice seam now at the end of my hem. I did that on both sides, the shorter sides of this rectangular piece of fabric. So now I'm going to plan inside out how I'm going to lay this on the pillow. Once I find it, I will hold on the end and pull the pillow out so it's folded exactly where I want it, and I need the one to overlap. And I know there's a little excess on this side, so I'm going to do my glue right inside there. I'll trim off that excess afterwards, but I want to make that first seam. And then I'm going to attach that little flap that goes over. You're only going to do the sides, not that middle portion. Now I'll check the pillow again, cut a little more off, and now I've got the right size pillow. So I'll go ahead and do that seam as well. Now do that all the way down the side. So now both sides are completely glued. And once they dry, I'm going to stick my hand into those points in the corners, and I'm going to push them through. And now we will have the pillow cover the right side out. And you'll see how nice the seams are. And of course you can press this down if you want around the edges, but the pillow is going to fill it up. So now I'm going to open it up and start stuffing the pillow in very carefully. And by the way, that hot glue just stays so well. And I've washed my pillow covers. I just don't do it in hot water or on a high heat at all. In fact, I usually let them dry naturally. So now I've got that little pillow. I try to straighten it out. Sometimes they go in a little crooked, so you got to play with it. And now I want to put a little design on it. I'm going to do it while the pillow's in there so I can see where it will sit. I'm going to take that dust cloth and I'm going to cut a circle, and I'm not even measuring. I'm just kind of going around, and then I'll kind of trim it up once it's done and make it look a little better. I'm going to use hot glue and get the center and the rest of it down. I was going to use my Beacon Fabric Tack glue, but I really wanted this to dry quickly, so that's definitely a good option. And now I'm going to cut those little pieces of that tie that I had from pajama pants. I'm going to cut little X's for eyes, and then I'm going to take the orange yarn from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to make the shape of a nose with the hot glue, and I'm just going to wrap it around and around. I did use the Beacon Fabric Tack glue in the center of the nose, and I'll just wrap that yarn. That way it wouldn't dry too fast in the center, and I could just keep wrapping and wrapping until I fill up that little nose. And it's so cute. And when it's done, I'll just snip off the end of that yarn. Now I'm going to cut a bunch of little pieces of that tie again and glue them on and make a little mouth for the snowman. I took some spray adhesive around the edges so that that white doesn't fall off. It was falling off everywhere when you cut those towels, and that just kept it in place, and that was it. And honestly, so easy. Tell me that's not adorable. You can definitely make this. this pillow, I'm going to take another one of those little microfiber dust towels from the Dollar Tree, and I've got a bunch of fabric scraps. This was a placemat, another placemat, and then just some fabric that I had. One was Dollar Tree, one was Walmart. I didn't end up using the Walmart one. And I'm going to fold this towel in half. Now, let me just tell you, when you use something soft like this, you can see all the little bumps from the stuffing. So I will say, probably in the future, I won't use this for a pillow, but I just want to show you that you can. Got a piece of cardboard. I'm just going to make a Christmas tree and just kind of draw lines across it. And once I have all those lines, I'm going to cut out the Christmas tree from the cardboard. This is my pattern, so I know how much fabric to cut for the Christmas tree we're going to make to put on the pillow. So just cut each of those little rings and kind of curve the bottom. Also cut a stem. And now I'm going to do one whole side of this pillow. I'm just going to hot glue the whole thing. And then I'm going to do all of the other sides except for a small piece I'm showing you here that I'm going to use to stuff the pillow. So now that's done, I need to turn it right side out because this way we won't see the seams on this one because of the kind of towel it is. I want that on the inside. But you don't have to. That's your choice. So I'm pulling it out and just kind of pushing those corners out, and there we go. Now we have the pillow. I'm going to place my pattern on there, and then I'll take each piece individually and I will trace it on the fabric and cut them out. I'll do that for every single one. And like I said, I've got, I think, 4 different fabrics I'm using, and 2 of them are placemats. So one of them was kind of thick, and I'm thinking in the future, I wouldn't use that again because you can see how high the edges are. I just use regular fabric, but you live and learn, and now you don't have to do that. So I'm hot gluing every one of these pieces down. And I'll just start from the bottom with the stem and build my way up the tree. And I'm putting a very small amount of space between each of the layers of the tree. And I probably could have made this a little smaller too. Again, it's hard to know when you stuff the pillow, you don't realize it before how it's going to be. Now I'm going to take that stuffing and just start stuffing in the pillow, going in the corners first and then filling in the rest. And like I said, this fabric shows every little lump. So it's a nice little cozy pillow to hug or whatever, but it's not as attractive maybe to put out on your nice furniture, but it's super cute. Anyway, that's something. I think maybe making really small pillows, like to just kind of put as accents on a shelf or a tier tray, this kind of fabric would be okay. But going forward, I think those placemats or the bigger ones would be a little bit better, or a nice heavy-duty fabric. Sealing up the sides, I am folding over the edges to create that sealed hem, as you can see here. And that's it. It's so cute. I really think I would have loved to make that Christmas tree a little smaller, but other than that, I'm very happy with how it turned out. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. You are truly a blessing to me. Let me know which one was your favorite today. I've got another video on the screen that I think you'll really like, so if you click on it, I will see you there. Bye.